How you doing, friends and comrades? This is the Heart in Harlem Garden, and I am Logan Grendel. My gardening, urban gardening or urban farming, whatever you want to call it, is based on the idea that you can grow a lot of food in pretty small spaces. Now, I have a backyard, but it's not, terribly spacious, and also everything is being grown in pots or vessels as opposed to in the ground, for a few reasons. One, so that it's portable, in case in case something happens and you need to move anything, or for whatever reason. Also, just to show that you can do as much in the city with just a 5-gallon bucket, some good earth, and some natural fertilizer as you can in other places. We should do a lot more growing of our own food in the cities. The city is a food desert, and being so populous, should anything happen, we'll be in a lot of trouble. And we could start today and have not only contribute to reduction in the temperature and also in water runoff by growing more things, but also, be able to trade and make greater community. I've made lots of friends in my neighborhood just by sharing planting tips and extra plants. These plants I got from a buddy of mine down the block who's got a garden. I gave him some eggplants, and he gave me some of these tomatoes. So yeah, it's a great way to get in touch with the people who live around you, and that's really the most important step, and something that we need a lot more of, especially in the city where we're very disconnected from each other. There's too many quick and easy options, and when you are in touch with the people around you, it really helps to keep in mind the fact that there's so much that goes on that you could potentially need each other for. And besides that, it's just kind of good for the spirit. These little eggplants here, they're called Little Prince eggplants. They can be grown in pretty small pots. Here, I'll show you one of my prize ones here. As you can see, the plant is not in a very giant pot. It's just maybe 6 inches deep, not too big around. But you're going to get, this isn't even full size yet. They're going to get to maybe 3 or 4 inches long, not the size of the big eggplants that you usually see, but pretty sizable. Definitely enough for a good meal for a couple people. And oh, here we go. Now this one is in a 5-gallon bucket, so the plant is, as you can see, much bigger and thicker, and is bearing more fruits, including this big one right here. It's a nice one. It's also got these coming in too. And here I've got it's a variety of orange grape tomato, very sweet, low in acidity, very tasty, very tasty. And they are growing pretty abundantly, and they grow well also in, this one is even shallower, even though it's longer, even shallower than the eggplant one. So it's maybe like 5 inches deep. But, look at all these plants. And more importantly, look at all the tomatoes that we're getting here. They're just starting to ripen and get that really beautiful orange gold color. Here we've got some radishes and kale. The kale I've had some misadventures with some pests. There's been definitely some pest situations going on, but I found out what they were and come up with natural ways to get rid of them. The other thing is everything is completely organic soil, and not using any harsh pest treatments. Everything is gentle. Nothing that I would be worried about consuming or putting back into the ground, were it even going into the ground. But it's even more important since I'm going to be reusing the soil in these pots. that I not contaminate them with anything. So my main pest control spray is it's just a mixture of cayenne pepper, vegetable oil, and Dr. Bronner's soap and water. You've got to get the formulation right. I'll post somewhere about that. But once you get the formulation right, you just spray it on maybe once a day, once every couple of days, depending on how concentrated it is, and it will keep the bulk of the bugs off. For some reason, tomatoes and the eggplants, they are nightshades, so the leaves don't get eaten by a lot of the same bugs, but your kale, your collards, the kind of leaves where you actually can eat them, they get just devoured, as you can see here. But that's by a different thing. These were I looked it up, and it's a moth larva. Actually, they look like these little green caterpillars, and once you spot them, you can get rid of them pretty easily. But you can also use a mixture of flour and salt, or even better, diatomaceous earth, to get rid of those guys. And those are both natural and aren't gonna damage your health in any way or damage the soil in any way. Obviously, too much salt can make the soil unusable. Ask I believe the Carthaginians about that one. But anyway, so yeah, this is what we've got here, and it's not enough to feed an entire family or anything like that, but it's just an idea of what can be done, and this is just my first year doing this. So as the years go by, I'll be able to increase my yields and increase the amount of different plants, and also to know what grows best. Some of these are just I'm just trying it out, to see how the plants grow. I don't really think I'm going to be able to cultivate enough of this quinoa here to really have that as a staple crop, but it's nice to know that it can grow and flourish well just in one of these 5-gallon buckets. So any suggestions, any questions you've got for me, any tips, feel free to send a message. And if you've got any ideas or ways that I might be able to improve my setup, please do let me know. Thanks a lot, comrades, and have a great day.
Team Crew, what up, cuz? Picking up the pieces left from all the old seasons, trying not to cut my fingers as I rearrange the sequence.